when we do a podcast, we talk a lot about your why. What's your why? What's your motivation? What's your reasoning? What's your logic behind whatever it is that you might be doing? Not just, a cause that you're supporting or your career, but in life in general. What's your why? What's your purpose? Where are you getting the motivations that you're getting them? And that as you formulate an understanding of that, then that gives you more clarity on self, what makes you tick, and then also possibly some new directions that you might want to move yourself in. And I think that's a key piece is figuring that out. What's your why? What's your purpose? What really is motivating and resonating with you from a heart, mind, spirit standpoint? And I know you can definitely relate to that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, I'm honestly thinking I'm walking. Like I said, I just said it earlier. I said, I'm walking. I'm figuring out. I say the key word is I'm figuring out that I am walking into this consultative stage in my life and getting comfortable with that I'm walking into that stage. You know what I mean? I think it's the first time we've done this. I think this is the third one I've done with you. But I've never really, I've let people know I was doing it because I don't know, there was a certain part of me that wasn't 100% comfortable that I'm going to be on this stage. And this is what I'm going through right now. I'm starting to try to get comfortable that this is a stage I want to be on first and foremost. And secondly, that I'm actually on the stage. You know what I mean? Oh, you're actually on the stage. It's kind of like that guy that stumbles into it. You're backstage doing whatever it is you're doing, your support staff, whatever, and all of a sudden you stumble into, oh my God, I'm actually, and then you get asked to, oh, since you're out here, why don't you speak? Okay.
Hey, right.
You
Absolutely.
sure you want me to speak? And
Right.
then, I'm one of those type of people that once you wind me up, I'm good to go. It's the pre-point before I'm wound up. I go through this anxiety and this self-doubt and am I capable, all the things that imposter syndrome denotes, so I'm sitting there looking at myself right now on the screen and I'm like, how do I look? You know what I mean? I've been making it a point this time around and like, well, I want to look the part, whatever that is, because I don't even know what that means really. But in my mind, I have an idea what I think it means. I don't know if you noticed from the last time I pulled the wine. I had bottles of wine because I'm working from right outside of my kitchen at my condo. And I pulled down all the wine and all the peripheral viewpoints that you could see because I wanted to give you a more clean canvas to see me in. And those are things that as you move through life, we start to figure out how we want to be seen. And that's the perfect example of me saying, I want to be seen in a certain light because I want to be held as credible. And that's probably my biggest thing. And I think it's a lot of people's thing that they probably don't admit is that at the root of a lot of this is I want to be credible. I want to be seen as credible.
Right.
That I'm not crazy and I actually have something that people can enjoy and actually ingest.
Right.
So
No, it's funny you say that because that is the thing, right? That self-talk that goes in your mind especially when you're thrust into a new situation. You're in that situation now and you've never been there before. Or you're taking this new journey. So the self-talk is, as you just said, who am I to, say this, do this, be this, whatever it might be, right? Those are the natural things. In the previous episode on our podcast, it's funny, we were talking about just doing this podcast period, as you mentioned a moment ago. And Bridget, when she'll share this, when we've talked about it many times, you go back 2 years ago or so, and she would tell you, and wasn't even on her vision board or in any way to be doing a podcast. But life changes, things happen, and all of a sudden now you're in front of the camera. Same thing for me. I mean, I am like you said. I think I love the way you summarized that. You're in this consultative stage in life where you're feeling like it's time to give back and share some of the knowledge, some of the wisdom, on some of the experiences that you've gained to this point in life. And a lot of the reason I started this platform is for that reason. What's interesting is for years I'm professional facilitator and stand up in front of a classroom and teach and do all these different things regarding leadership, this, that, and the other thing. However, I never have been one to want to be in front of the camera. I'll take pictures of people all day, or I will video you all day, but to put me in front of the camera is like, whoa, no, I'll stay behind the camera. So that self-talk that I had to get past when I decided, hey, let's do a podcast. And obviously the easiest thing to do would be say, well, you can do a podcast. It can just be voice only. But I wanted it to truly be more of a representation of me, which meant I had to really push myself to get past that fear, that get in front of the camera, breathe, and just get used to being in that particular light. But that is a testament to what we're talking about here. Old habit, new habit, old way of doing things, new way of doing things. And the only way you're going to evolve past it is to keep pushing forward, to push your way through it. Am I the best? No. Am I better than when I started? Hell yes, a lot better. So, but
Right.
that's the nature of the beast, right? That's
You know,
what you have to do, is keep pushing
you know
forward.
what's funny? I we go back and we play the tapes. Sometimes the tapes go back 20 years, sometimes 30 years, sometimes beyond. And for some reason, I had thought about this over the last, I don't know, since probably the first time I did one of these with you. Um, I had a thought in my 20s that I wanted to be a motivational speaker.
Mm,
And I don't know where the hell that came from. Maybe that's the obviously having a famous writer in your family, um, and everybody. I think most everybody in my family has done some type of professional speaking at some point. I actually took a class in my 20s with that in mind because I wanted to conquer. Um, I describe myself sometimes when people ask me to describe myself. I say I'm the most extroverted introvert that you're ever going to meet.
mm,
So I can go days where if I don't have to talk to somebody, I ain't talking to nobody. You know what I mean? I
mm,
talk to somebody because I have to. Certain
mm,
days, if I don't have to talk to people, I'm just not, because I'm dealing with my own thoughts, and I just as soon deal with my own thoughts. I need to put that energy into me. So sometimes I get away with not having, and plus, people annoy me sometimes. I'll be honest with you, they just do. You know, um, one of the things that my wonderful cousin, who we've had on here already, said to me once, he says, "You actually like people, and I don't." And I said, "No, you got it twisted, my man." I said, "I people annoy me, and sometimes that comes into manifest to the fact that I don't like people either." And I think a lot of us, if we're being true, sometimes we it's not that we don't like people, we don't like what people do. That's my issue, because people put, they project on you, and they do different things like that, and there's manipulation involved and different things like that, and that's the kind of stuff that I try to avoid, is people, manipulating you for their own gain or whatever their agenda is, because a lot of people have, I think we all have some form of an agenda that we were trying to operate out of. But the question is it a truly unselfish agenda? You can't always answer the question yes, because sometimes
right.
it is self, that our agendas, my agenda sometimes is self-serving. Now when I say self-serving, that doesn't mean it's nefarious. It
Hmm.
just means that I'm learning to do things that serve me, and it's more from an emotional standpoint that I'm looking to be served. Obviously we do the work we do the things we do to have the life we live, but am I doing something that's going to truly serve me? That when I lay down at night, man, that was a good day. Or, man, I did this, and I felt so good to be able to help someone else, or